airport. Here begins the road to the sky. Every day 10 million people use aircraft for traveling all over the world. It is the airport that you always see when you fly in or out. Over 1,000 people are there on duty to make your flight safe. So who are they? How does it all work? The Priority Pass program will guide you to the area that is open for authorized personnel only. We will look inside a large and well-tuned mechanism and home to airplanes.
Back Air 2106 after landing had Charlie 180, wind 190 degrees, wind speed 1 meter, landing allowed, runway 05 right. Over 50,000 planes take off and land annually at Almaty International Airport. Undoubtedly, the comfort of both takeoff and landing directly depend on the skills of pilots, the technical condition of aircraft, and of course on the quality of the runway. At first sight it looks like an ordinary motorway, with some peculiarities, but it is still of no interest to passengers. But in reality, runways are always different. In this region of the world we have the longest runway, which is also among important factors ensuring flight safety. Runways can be unusual and even extreme. The runway located high in the French Alps is located on an incline. It is considered to be the 7th most dangerous runway in the world. There is also a runway in Gibraltar that crosses a large motorway in the local city. Every time a plane takes off or lands, the traffic on this road has to be blocked. Even though the runways around the world are not the area for aircraft to maneuver at, it is more of a science. Everything located on and around the airstrip has a certain purpose. Nothing is useless there. Every move is well thought and predictable, but it's not when it comes to birds. Owls come at night. Crows also show up sometimes. Now crows and magpies may disturb the coordinated work of the airport. The uninvited guests make everyone nervous. Every year, the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, registers about 5,000 cases of bird strikes or aircraft collisions with airborne birds. Since aviation began its existence, birds have been a major threat to flight safety. Talgat is well prepared for meeting the uninvited guests. This very equipment is called a rocket launcher or a hunter whistle. Once a bird is spotted within the airfield, we use this rocket launcher. We wind up the spring and hold it with a holder. To scare birds away from the airfield, we stretch our hands upwards and shoot. By doing this, we scare the birds away with a loud noise and a flashing light.
И производим выстрел. Происходит шумовое воздействие и световое воздействие.
According to specialists' calculations, when a bird collides with an airplane flying at the cruise speed of 700 km per hour, the impact power is 3 times that of a 50mm artillery shell.
Мы самих птиц не стреляем.
We do not shoot at birds directly. What we do is scare them away by making a loud noise. That's it.
Пойдешь, вот это и-
Sometimes Talgat also uses some friendlier ways, like finding a common language with the birds.
Да, у нас непосредственно стоит на-
We have a bioacoustic device mounted on our bird control vehicle that simulates the sound of birds being in trouble. Once a bird is spotted on the airfield, we turn this sound on too. An airplane coming into land is a spectacular event as seen from the ground. It is as fascinating from a bird's eye view, especially when there is a glittering carpet on the ground welcoming you to land. Runway illumination is always on at night, but can also be switched on during daytime. Sometimes the runway illumination lights are more needed during the day, as fog and bad weather may hamper flight safety. The rule is, the worse the weather, the brighter the lights. However, those are not just bulbs, but a well-thought navigation system using which pilots land planes. Here every single light is important, as each of them is part of the information, thanks to which pilots follow a safe way to the ground.
Мы их не включаем, включают диспетчера.
We do not switch the lights on or off. Air traffic controllers do it on request from plane crews. If pilots ask for some additional assistance, we do not control illumination lights, as we may blind the cockpit crew or make something worse. So pilots ask air traffic controllers to enable some illumination lights, and the plane begins landing. Our job is to provide maintenance to ensure the illumination is always in a working condition. There are a few types of lights on and around the runway serving to prevent wrong maneuvers. Some lights indicate where the runway begins, while others mark a touchdown zone and where the plane starts braking. Aircraft with the weight of 100 tons approaches the runway with the speed of around 300 km per hour. Those illuminating lights help pilots to quickly and accurately calculate the distance and avoid overrunning the runway.
При определенных погодных условиях,
In certain weather conditions, when a low visibility reaches the 3B category from ICAO, those lights are switched on to help pilots and aircraft commanders to know exactly where they are at and define how they will be landing. Almaty International Airport has 2 runways, one of which is eligible to receive airplanes in conditions of very low visibility, thanks to its equipment meeting the 3B category certificate by ICAO.
я должен заметить, что мы единственный аэропорт.
I would like to highlight that we are the only airport in the CIS and the former Soviet Union which has upgraded its runway to meet the 3B category certificate by ICAO. This means that we are certified to receive airplanes in limited visibility, which is no less than 75 meters for horizontal visibility and 0 for vertical visibility. This is a must because Almaty Airport is in the potential areas of fog, and for almost 50 to 60 days a year we have foggy weather. It happens from late November up until late December. In 2011 we invested significant funds into the construction construction of a 3B category runway certified by ICAO. This runway includes upgrades in illumination lights, the equipment of Kazakh Navigatia, which controls air traffic, as well as a number of related improvements corresponding to the 3B category from ICAO. A lot of pilots dream of landing their plane in Almaty just to confirm their qualification. However, these aspects are not enough for the air traffic controllers to turn the lights on. Airplanes must also correspond to the runway standards and have special navigation equipment. When both the pilots and the airplane are ready, the Almaty runway illumination is switched on. In all other cases of low visibility, aircraft are redirected to reserve airfields. Statistics says that during the airport's operation, only 10% at most are redirected to reserve airdromes. This happens not because the airport cannot receive them, but because some pilots are either not trained how to land and take off at 3B category runways, or some airplanes do not have equipment required for landing in the conditions requiring a 3B category runway. The runway of Almaty International Airport is ready to receive almost all types of airplanes. The runways are designed to receive the largest type of aircraft, which is Boeing 747-400. In other words, engineers make the features of aircraft match the actual conditions and location of the airport. They take into account everything, including sea level and air temperature. Our airport is located 700 meters above sea level, and the air temperature in summer reaches 35 to 40 degrees centigrade. This is why our runway is 4.5 kilometers long and 60 meters wide. It is all related to sea level and air temperature. To be able to receive airplanes from various countries, an airport should meet all international standards. The runway of Almaty International Airport serves 40 airlines from all over the globe. This is why safety is always a top priority.
It
is like a city living by its own tough rules. It is so because if some worker or the whole service fails to fulfill their duty properly, it may lead to a general disturbance of the airport's operation. As you know, aviation operates within certain schedules, with only slight deviation possible. Everything depends on certain technological processes, which has to be followed by both airports and aviation companies. A runway is an area where heavyweight aircraft take off, land and maneuver. However, despite their giant size, airplanes are very vulnerable, especially when it comes to sharp climate changes. In this case, any extraordinary situations may happen. Our airport is correspondent to all ICAO requirements. We have a full fleet of machinery, including 7 fire engines, of which 2 are reserve ones, and the remaining 5 are always on duty. We are always ready to fulfill the tasks set for us at any time. Just like any vehicle, aircraft do not like icy surface either. Almaty Airport prepares for an autumn-winter period in advance. This process involves numerous machinery and equipment. Local workers call this vehicle Ferrari. Of course, it has nothing in common with the Italian sports car except the price. This is the most expensive vehicle at the airport, as it costs 1 million euros. The Almaty Airport fleet has 2 such units. Its maximum speed is 70 kilometers per hour, and its main task is to clear the runway from everything that should not be there. For over 10 years, we have not suspended airport's operation due to weather conditions. As you know and see it on television, it happens that overseas airports may be temporarily closed to remove snow from the runway, apron and aircraft parking stands when snow depth reaches 10 to 15 centimeters. Today we have enough equipment and machinery in our fleet to ensure an uninterrupted operation of aircraft, even during heavy snowfalls. Back Air 2106, keep taxiing to 121.7, 121.7, thank you and goodbye. Have a safe flight.